pleasure for me. What can be said about Jeanne Shaheen that has not already been said? A great activist, a great state senator, a great governor, and now our great United States Senator. New Hampshire's first woman governor, New Hampshire's first and best woman senator. Woman ever to serve as a governor and then as a United States Senator. Yeah. The legendary, the most excellent, the most honorable, our favorite United States Senator, Jeanne Shaheen. So, what a great crowd of New Hampshire Democrats this morning. I think this bodes well for November. I think we should all begin by giving Ray Buckley, our wonderful state party chair, and the whole crew who are working so hard at the party, the new team there, and everybody who's made this convention possible. We should give them all a great big round of applause. And you know, it's so nice that we're going to hear from my old friend, Governor Martin O'Malley from Maryland this morning. Some of you may know that Martin and I worked together back in the 80s on Gary Hart's campaign for president. He was just a young man right out of college. I was a little bit older. But it's been so exciting to see what Martin has gone on to do, to see what he did as mayor of Baltimore, to see what he's doing now as governor of Maryland. And he's been to New Hampshire a lot, and I understand that there's some rumor that he might be here a little more often in the future. So, in just 5 months, we have the opportunity and the responsibility to determine the future of this state and this country. New Hampshire's 4 electoral votes are going to be critical to President Obama's re-election. And there is a stark choice. It's one that we all know between the 2 candidates and their economic visions and their visions for the country. Mitt Romney wants to return to the Bush-era economics. We've already done that. It didn't work. It gave us the deepest recession since the Great Depression. We cannot go there again. President Obama wants to help create an economy and a country where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. I know you've seen that ad that shows where jobs were when President Obama took office. We were losing 750,000 jobs a month. And you see that chart. and it starts under the line and it grows up. 26 consecutive months of job creation since President Obama has been in office. You know those 4 electors you voted for this morning? Well, we need to make sure that those 4 electors deliver New Hampshire for the president this November. I know we're going to hear from Governor Lynch in a few minutes. He has provided great leadership for New Hampshire over the last 8 years. There have been a lot of days when I've looked at what was happening in the New Hampshire legislature and the House, and I was so reassured to know that John Lynch was in that corner office to make sure he kept New Hampshire moving forward. And we have 2 great Democratic candidates who are running for governor. I'm confident that whoever wins, 3, I'm sorry. I've been in Washington, come on. We have great candidates who are running in November. I'm confident that one of those candidates is going to win. We're going to get behind whoever gets that nomination, and they are going to continue the governor's positive leadership for New Hampshire. And come November, we're going to rid Concord of the Tea Party Republicans. They claim to support job creation, but they have pursued a right-wing social agenda that is not in the best interest of the future of this state or the people of New Hampshire. They want to defund Planned Parenthood and deny thousands of New Hampshire women access to health care. They want to end public kindergarten. They want to take away money from our public schools and give them to private and religious schools. They've decimated the social safety net. They've even ended our children's health insurance plan, New Hampshire Healthy Kids, something that we all fought to create. The harm that's being done by this current legislature to New Hampshire and to the future of our state cannot be overstated. It is time to return Democratic majorities to the State House and the State Senate. And it is so important that we elect Annie Custer and Carol Shea Porter this fall. Their voices and their votes in Congress will be critical to advancing an economic agenda that has been blocked these past 2 years by the extreme partisanship of Tea Party Republicans in Washington. I can tell you that firsthand. It is time to end that kind of extremism in New Hampshire and in Washington. This election is about the kind of future, the kind of economy that we want in New Hampshire and in this country. I want a future I want an economy where everyone has a fair shot at success. That's why I've been focused on making education affordable for middle-class families, and why we've got to make sure that student loan interest rates don't double at the end of June. That's why I've been focused on rebuilding our infrastructure to create good jobs, and why we must pass the transportation bill that the Senate passed on a strong bipartisan vote. I don't know why the House is holding that up. That's why we need Annie and Carol there. That's why I've been working to help our small businesses tap into international markets through export promotion, because 95% of the customers live outside of the United States, and only 1% of our small and medium-sized businesses are doing business overseas. We've got to change that by changing our policies. That's why we've got to address this country's debt and deficits. And we've got to do it by looking at everything, including revenue. That means we've got to look at the tax structure and reform it. It's why we need a comprehensive energy strategy for this country. It's why I've worked so hard to develop a comprehensive energy efficiency bill, because I know that the fastest, cheapest way to address our energy needs is by reducing the demand for energy. So I'm hoping that we can get this bill passed and move forward to make sure we reduce our energy use and move to alternatives and renewable sources. It's why I'm fighting every day to protect the jobs at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, and to maintain the security of this country. Now, I couldn't do this important work in Washington without the support of everyone here and so many other good Democrats across this state. I want to thank you all for what you do to help me every day, for what you do for the Democratic Party, for New Hampshire, and for our country. And with your help, we are going to win.